All that time trying to figure out how to walk, she forgot how to fly.
Yep.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a great, like, heartwarming moment, though, at the end, and then we get the reprise of Piccolo going back to his little shack.
Yep.
And then we got
with his throne.
And then the post-credit scene that was so worth it.
Oh yeah, with Broly like moved to tears from their fight.
My favorite part about that is, like, so many people left the theater after the credits started playing. I'm like, there's got to be a post-credit scene.
I waited.
I'm like, they can't forget about the main characters of the series.
Yeah.
I made Cindy wait. She was going to like move out of the theater. I'm like, nope, we're waiting. Like, I gotta see if there's something coming after this.
Yeah.
The best part about that scene, though, to me, is the fact that Vegeta won.
Yes, he
I was
finally
like,
beat him.
I was like, finally, the poor guy, like so many times.
You can finally say he did it.
Yeah, and that basically wrapped it up. Hey guys, I'm Bill, also known as the Barbecue Games on Instagram.
And I'm Alex, his sister, who brings only chaos.
And together we are the Gaming and Collecting Podcast, a mostly video game centered podcast.
But half the time, we just talk about anime.
And that collecting thing, well, that's mostly just an implication at best,
So come along and enjoy us on this adventure.
as we discuss the games that shaped us. So, how you been?
Doing all right.
I've been good. We have a guest.
Hello, long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah.
So, I think we've alluded. I don't think I've mentioned you by name, but I've mentioned you a few times in like episodes in the background. But this is my friend Matt. We used to work together at my old job before everything went to hell.
Yep.
So I guess introduce yourself, bud.
Oh, I'm Matt, I guess. So they say. I don't know. I pretty much just been like a long-term Dragon Ball fan for a long time, so I figured like, yeah, this is probably a good place for me to jump in.
Yeah, nice. So it's been a week, I guess. Before we get into our topic, we do our usual, just talking about what we've been doing and stuff. Me and Alex still working at the golf ball factory.
Yep.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah,
I don't think you ever actually told me what it was.
Oh,
Nah,
yep.
we literally it's a company that all it does is just make golf balls.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all.
well, hey, whatever works.
We make a lot of them.
Yeah, work a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty long.
Yeah. I
Wait.
mean, things have been good. Just work and I got new light fixtures. That was
Light
fun.
fixtures.
Yeah, one that you can see actually on the camera.
Oh yeah, we
Hey.
just got a bunch of new ones. We had a bunch of work done on our house recently. We just finally moved back in after a year, and that's a whole other story in itself. But
Oh my, yeah.
yeah, we got all sorts of new light fixtures and fresh plaster and paint and all that other stuff. So that's pretty great.
The fun of being a homeowner.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now
no
you
kidding.
get to change things up.
Yeah, as well as we
Hey,
can with all the baby stuff all over the place.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been pretty good. We're just getting into things. I mean, it's the time of recording. It's the 1st of October, but I mean, by the time this comes out, it's probably going to be almost December. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we went to the Big E last week.
oh yeah,
For the
so the
first
Big
time.
E, for those who don't know, it's kind of like a giant like fair like that
It's
happens
huge.
in is it Springfield where it happens?
I think it's West Springfield. Yeah.
West Springfield. Yeah, we did that, and there was a lot of walking around and
I
people
didn't
watching.
realize, like, how big it was though, and like how many people like travel for it and stuff. Like I didn't even know it existed, and we've lived in Massachusetts for like forever.
This
Yeah.
is my first time hearing about it.
Yeah, it's apparently like this big thing that people actually like come out of state to travel for, and like just never heard of it. But they have
Well,
like
you'd
a
be
bunch of concerts and stuff.
You'd be amazed how many people I work with at the company now. They like they'll be like, where are you from? And I'll be like, I'm from Plymouth. They're like, where the hell's Plymouth? I'm like, really?
Seriously,
I'm like, that's
where
a
did you go to
pretty-
school?
Close to the other golf ball factory.
Yeah, the one that we're not allowed to talk about.
No.
Oh, jeez.
No,
You guys
but yeah,
been,
it's
you guys been
it's
watching
pretty
any
fun.
animes?
Well, we're wrapping up for. I guess we don't want to spoil it yet, but we're wrapping up what we're watching for the next anime swap.
Yep.
So we'll keep that secret till the episode comes up. But other than that, Alex has probably been watching One Piece again.
Yeah. It's it's like my comfort show at this point. I just go back and watch my favorite episodes and arcs.
I mean, can't blame me there. I've been doing that with Dragon Ball for decades.
Yeah. I haven't really been watching anime. I've been catching up on manga. Like I've been reading Kaguya-sama, so I've been keeping up with that one.
Mm.
I noticed recently they added a bunch of dubbed episodes of Boruto on Hulu, so I've been catching up on that.
They did. I got the DVDs. I really got to catch up on those. I just haven't had the energy to watch Boruto lately.
Mm.
Well, because we've been watching another show lately.
We've been watching a lot of shows lately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to get that podcast content.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to make it kind of a job. But anyways, so I guess moving into our topic, I guess this is going to be. I guess we'll put up a spoiler warning right from the beginning because we're going to spoil a lot of things from this movie. It is a bit old now, but it's still in that year window where I still think we should put a spoiler warning.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some people who like wait for it to like come out like on streaming or DVD to watch it. So
for sure. Plus the marketing for this movie was atrocious. So
it was. We'll get into it, but it actually did a pretty good job of hiding things as well. So.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But so the movie we're actually talking about is Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
Which actually, funny story about that title is I found out recently that there was an interview with Toriyama, and he had forgotten that the new iteration of Dragon Ball was called Dragon Ball Super. So that's why he called it Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Yeah. He thought it was just Dragon Ball still.
Yeah, well, Toriyama's great at forgetting things. So
it's just funny.
That's just perfect.
Yeah. So, I guess start back. Do you remember when this was first announced?
Well, not by name. That was actually fairly recently, but they were talking about another movie being in production right after Broly came out.
That's true.
So they've had this like kind of in the workings. I don't know if they had like a whole idea of what they wanted to do with it yet, but it was definitely something they wanted to do.
Yeah, it was always kind of like there was like this like little like it was like this weird like argument with the fan base where they were like, is it a new movie or is it the second season of Super, which still hasn't been announced?
Not officially with a date, but there's a lot of people saying that next year is the year.
Where they're finally gonna.
I got my fingers crossed.
Adapt the manga stuff.
Yeah, dude, I want to see some Moro stuff, man. That's just nuts. My stepson actually just finished reading it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But I guess to go back to the first reveal. I remember when we knew a movie was coming, but I still remember that first like trailer shot where we actually saw the CGI graphic.
Ah, yes.
The fan base broke in half.
Yeah. Did either of you guys watch like that whole like presentation thing that they did? It was like an hour long. Like I think it was for like a Comic-Con or something, or San Diego Comic-Con or something. It was like a whole big panel.
I saw bits and pieces of it. I remember like all the controversy because Reddit was like blowing up with like people like who couldn't stand the CGI for whatever reason.
Well, it also wasn't like finished at the time, so yeah, it looked a little Fighters-esque.
Yeah, it looked a lot like Dragon Ball Fighters. Like it looked very like the frame rate felt slow and it felt kind of like rushed. And I remember thinking like, that's new. I'm sure that's not going to go over well.
Yeah. I also feel like when it comes to anime fans and CGI, there's always backlash. No matter what, even if it's great or even if it is terrible. Because I remember like when Berserk came out with the final season and it was all CG and like everyone hated it, but it was rightfully hated because it did look pretty bad.
Yeah, that was pretty poor CG.
It was very bad, but I feel like it's just very common when it comes to anime. People either are okay with CG or they absolutely hate it, no matter what. So it's very mixed.
I will say I was pleasantly surprised with this one.
I agree. I actually thought it looked really good.
I didn't notice it half the time, which is a good thing.
There were definitely certain things like the Gamma, like flipping the gun around, like you could see the CG in that, but it was smooth.
Yeah. I do remember too, like one of the biggest things that was causing a lot of the uproar was this movie had to follow Brawly, which is probably still one of the best looking Dragon Ball movies we've ever had.
For sure.
Just that art style they went with, like the simplistic yet detailed like look, like that made that movie pop.
Yeah.
Compared to like then we're switching over to this, which was I think the first time any Dragon Ball media had gone CG for an actual animated thing.
For a full length thing, like I mean, they've dabbled with it with Battle of Gods, Res F, and Broly. Like there were certain scenes, and I'm sure you know the ones. But yeah, so they've dabbled with it over the years, but this is the first time they've really gone this far with it.
Yeah.
And I remember the hype for this movie was pretty high, even though people were kind of up and down with it just from the little things. But then there was the Funimation. Was it Funimation or was it Toy that had the leak that caused like a delay?
It was Toei Animation had a cyber attack.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it was like a mat.
April 2022. That's when it happened. Well, some point because it was supposed to be released then, and then a cyber attack happened, and then it was delayed.
Yeah, it got pushed like 4 months or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember that because we were actually hanging out that one day, and you had told me about it. I was like, oh, well, that sucks.
I was so mad.
Yeah. And then it kind of just went like dark for a while. Like we got a few like key visuals. Like we got the trailer, like the promotional shot, which had all the characters. I remember the biggest reveal was we had a young adult Goten in Trunks, which was finally.
Yeah, that was a long time coming.
Because they were like 8 for like all of Super, even though it like years passed.
Yeah,
Forever 8.
No kidding.
Just like
and Marin too. She was like, Marin was like 4 years old for like 10 years.
Yeah. But I remember we saw that shot. I remember the trailer showed off the what we thought at the time were the villains, along with Goku and Vegeta being Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
Which led to a lot of speculation on what the plot of the film was going to be. Other than like I know we heard the rumblings that it was going to be very Gohan and Piccolo focused,
Which I was very excited for.
Yeah.
It's like just hearing that CG or no CG, like regardless of how that had turned out, like just the fact that they're revolving something around somebody other than Goku and Vegeta is like, that was big.
Well, at the time I was like wondering, are they actually going to go through with that, or is Goku going to save the day again? Like
I would have been so mad. That would have ruined the movie for me.
It would have, honestly. But I guess like to jump into it now, I guess going into the actual day it finally came out. Did you see it in the theaters as well, Matt?
Yeah, day one.
Nice. We went a little bit later because it was the only tickets I could get that we were able to have the day off for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we went for like the full IMAX. I remember because we were like literally like right in the center of the theater. There was like barely anyone else there.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the IMAX, but you know, paying movie tickets for, like, I was paying for me, my wife, and my stepson. So like, you know, doing IMAX for all three of us would have been a little pricey.
Yeah. It does get. I feel like everything gets more expensive nowadays, even the movies.
The only reason ours were so cheap is because they were like a later like showing, and they were like in the middle of nowhere. It was kind of fun.
It was kind of nice though, like going a little later because really we didn't see like any spoilers up until that point, which was good, and there was really like no one there, so like it was like perfect. Like no one was there, and we could just enjoy.
That's pretty cool.
So
it was like mostly. Oh, I'm sorry. It was mostly empty in the theater when I went, but like I don't know. As the movie went on, like people would kind of trickle in a little bit, but it definitely wasn't like Broly because I saw that in theaters and that was packed.
Yeah, it's also a post-COVID movie, so we're still kind of getting back to movie theaters, but
that's true,
especially for like niche anime films.
Yeah.
But anyways, now getting back into it, so we saw the movie, and I still remember that opening shot with it's I forget. Does the movie open with Piccolo and like Pan?
I think the movie started with like a little montage with the showing like Kid Goku fighting the Red Ribbon Army and
that's right. They had to reintroduce them, which I thought was interesting. They actually were bringing the Red Ribbon Army back for like the first time in.
Well, since like Cell, right? Well, I know GT.
Well, oh yeah. GT. Yeah.
Can't forget Super 17.
Can we forget Super 17?
I don't know, man. I thought he was cool as shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, and then you watch it as an adult, and you're like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
But then again, you can say that for like every plot in GT.
Yeah, good ideas, bad execution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it had been pretty much a decade since the last time Red Ribbon was relevant at all,
Hmm.
which I thought was kind of cool. Like the way they were kind of explaining into it. I did adore that opening scene though with Piccolo and Pan,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
because it answered so many things I wondered about Piccolo, like the fact that he has a house now.
And
No, I'm less. Oh, the cat toys are great, and his phone case. He
Yeah,
just holds up with the two fingers, just kind of like.
and he's just, he totally loves those things, but he won't admit it.
yeah,
Oh, of course, just because they
He's-
came from Pan.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pan and Videl.
Yeah,
Videl's like one scene in the entire movie.
yeah, sure. Just
Yeah.
being like, well, I'm off doing my own thing.
I gotta work.
Babysit my child.
My husband's too busy doing whatever he's doing.
Nerd
Oh, yeah.
activities.
Grandpa Piccolo's at it again.
That was a really heartwarming scene though, because it's especially when you look at how much he's grown as a character since even like the beginning of Super.
Oh yeah,
Like, cause what's the time skip between Brawly and Superhero? Like, it's
it would have to be. I think 3 years. I think that's
Yeah,
what
'cause-
it is.
all of the Super manga stuff like takes place in between the two, right?
Yeah, like the Moro and Granola is in between Broly and Superhero.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool, and then we get the introduction of the quote unquote villains of well, I guess kind of the villain of the movie, the new Red Ribbon Army, which is it's General Red's son, is it?
Yeah, it's General Red's son and Dr. Giro's grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the Red Ribbon Army's son is he's voiced by Mario.
Yeah, when I found that out, dude, I was laughing my ass off.
It took me a while, but I didn't even notice at first, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, that's Charles Martinet." I'm like, "That's pretty funny."
It's super funny. And then, like, not to jump ahead or anything, but the whole thing with the bee at the end,
Yeah.
like that, I was laughing my ass off. That's
It's
definitely
so
one
good.
thing about this movie that I liked a lot was how like heavy into the comedy they went.
The comedy was very good, and the action was a great like counterbalance to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like to compare it to Brawly, like Brawly was a really awesome fight scene, but the movie's story overall was pretty like flat in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Like it had some good like character stuff, but a lot of the best stuff wasn't it just adapted from like other stuff?
I mean, yeah, it basically just took elements from, I think it was Fusion Reborn, the Bardock special, and then the old Broly movie, and just kind of mashed them together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it worked for what it was.
Oh, the movie is great in terms of like the actual fighting and like action stuff, but I think the story itself was kind of bland. This one, story wise, is actually probably one of the most interesting Dragon Ball movies I think we've ever had
Yeah, I'd say so.
in a lot of ways. Like I actually think it's arguably one of the best.
Yeah, I'd say so. For sure.
I agree.
So, continuing on from there, then we get. So the scene that I was most interested in was how are Goku and Vegeta going to be like?
Oh, on Beerus's planet?
Yeah, so we get to Beerus's planet. I'm like, oh, here they are. Okay, how are they going to come and ruin this movie?
Yeah, right?
But actually,
Yeah.
their scene is one of the funniest scenes in the entire movie.
It's even
we-
less about them, though, as like Beerus's little crush there. That was
Yeah,
Oh,
we
you
found
hear
out
it?
that was a lot. Oh my god.
Beerus
was-
has a type.
That was one of the best things in the movie. It explains a lot. He
It
puts up
does.
with a lot of shit from Bulma. And they got like the
Yeah.
same haircut.
He does. I like too that we did have Brawly still hanging around, and it was the
Yeah.
first. This was the first real appearance of Johnny Young Bosch voicing Brawly, wasn't it?
Was it? Was it him? I wasn't
That
sure
was-
if
it
they. I wasn't sure if they stuck with him after Fighters or.
No, it was definitely Johnny Young Bosch. I noticed like because he has that weird inflection, like in how he talks.
Hmm.
I think he was in the credits too.
Uh,
I thought it was kind of funny. Like they show that they're still training him to like not go insane whenever he goes
Yeah.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Well, if I don't know if either of you have been keeping up with the manga, but the last reveal after the last chapter, like there's the reason why they need Broly.
Yeah.
Like they
So-
need him now. The stuff that's
It's-
going on.
It's nice that he's an actual character now and not just a freaking crazy man, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needed
Like,
that. I mean, old
yeah.
Broly, like, you know, it was fun in its own way, but it didn't have any substance to it. It's just big,
Nah.
tough man.
The first movie is a pretty fun action movie, but it has the dumbest motivation ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sequels were even worse.
At least Bio Broly had some comedy in it.
Yeah. It had something.
Yeah.
But I guess to go back though, so that whole scene was basically just to establish that basically Beerus, Whis, Vegeta, and Goku aren't going to be relevant in this film at all,
Yep.
Which I was totally on board for.
which was kind of cool. Like they literally are just having a fight the entire course of the movie.
Hmm.
And then the rest are having an ice cream party.
Yeah, and Vegeta's. I really did like though that they kept. Is it her name like Chila? Is it
Chilai.
Chilai? And what's the guy's name? The cook or whatever.
Lemo.
Rayleigh.
Lemo. Well, yeah.
I just called him Rayleigh the whole time.
I
Seriously?
like. They were my favorite. They
Oh,
were
it's
my
the same
favorite.
voice.
Yeah.
It's the same
Oh, okay.
voice, and I was like, "That's Rayleigh."
I've only read the manga, so I don't know what all the voice actors are.
Well, that's a voice actor, really.
I did like. I like that they kept them around though because they were actually really good characters in the Brawley film,
Hmm.
and they were still pretty interesting here. Like they had. I like their whole dynamic, like that they just kind of like weaseled their way into the group, and now they're just here.
Just hanging out on Beerus's planet, stealing his shit.
Yeah, and Beerus is all like, "Oh, you can cook? Yeah, you can stay. Oh, I think you're hot. Yeah, you can stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
You
chill
can
here."
say.
I don't
It's
want
on
to
his
do anything.
whim. So
Yeah.
funny.
The funniest part though is because of that ice cream party and where they threw that bucket, it landed right on Whis' staff, which is the whole reason why he's not in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I totally forgot about that part.
Because then,
That's
meanwhile, we
super
cut back to Earth, and you got Red Ribbon's got their whole plot to build like super androids and take over the world, basically.
Mm.
And then you got Gohan is studying, and I like the touch of like Piccolo coming to like be like, "What the hell, dude? Why aren't you picking up your daughter?"
Yeah. It's like, you're taking too much after your dad right now, guy.
Yeah. I love how he put him in his like his old like training outfit too,
Yeah.
which was kind of fun.
I still don't understand exactly why he did that, but
Plot reasons, I guess.
don't
I like
even
how he
go on.
just. I like how he's so in his work though that he doesn't even bother to change out of it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
right.
kept doing his work.
Studying bugs or whatever.
Yeah, whatever weird shit he was up to. We also get the Bulma subplot where like they need to get the Dragon Balls because Piccolo needs to be more powerful.
And
Oh
also
my
Bulma's
God.
butt. Bulma's butt shot.
Yeah, you got a lot of.
The butt shot. the
Jesus.
CG butt.
We
You know,
saw more
you-
Bulma's ass in this movie than we needed to.
You'd think at this point she would just like, you know, make the wish, like make me look the way I want to look. Like take out of my brain what my ideal look is and just make me that. Like stop wasting wishes.
Bulma's very smart, but she's also very shallow about a lot of things. So
Yeah.
what's funny though is before that we had the scene of Piccolo actually infiltrating the Red Ribbon army,
Well,
which was
first
pretty cool.
he gets attacked by them, right? Like,
Well,
when
yeah, he
they're-
gets attacked. Was it Gamma? No, it was Gamma 1, wasn't it, or was it Gamma 2?
That was Gamma 2.
I think
Gamma
it was
2,
Gamma
the comedic one.
Yeah. So why can I see your sound effects?
2.
I love all the comic book themes and stuff in this in this one.
Yeah.
Like I loved like the different like sound effects and shit. That was fun.
Mm.
Oh yeah, like the kaboom, like all
Yeah.
that. Like, oh my god.
That fight between Piccolo and Gamma 2 was really really solid.
Mm.
I have to say.
Was that no, the rain scene was later, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
I did enjoy I like the Gammas like right away. Like I thought they were pretty solid. You could tell right away they weren't going to be villains for the entire movie.
Yeah, well, as soon as you see like Red Ribbon guys like showing pictures of guys, and the whole point is that they want to be superheroes, and obviously they know, if they knew what was going on, they weren't gonna do what they were doing.
Yeah, and
Well,
I could
even
tell
with
too.
Dr. Hedo, like the doctor, like his grandson, like even he's like only in the plot because he just wants to build his androids, but like wants to build superheroes, not actually follow his rules.
Yeah, he's like legitimately not really a bad guy. He does some
No.
shady shit, but he's not actually a villain when you actually look at him.
What was his story? How he got thrown in jail? Took a bunch of corpses and turned them into zombies and made them get a job at a grocery store or something.
Yeah, it was some really weird, like, very Toriyama shit.
Yeah, super funny.
I did enjoy that. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was just his side note. Have either of you guys read the Toriyama's manga theater?
Not yet. I've been meaning to actually pick that up when I go to the bookstore next.
There's some like short stories in there that are like, you get a lot of like the flavor of what they were going for in superhero from those.
Yeah, they were fun. I love that Piccolo infiltration scene where he just like disguises himself as one of the guards and like not everyone just buys it.
Yeah, that was a fun scene.
And then he just like ditches for like 20 minutes and comes back and he's like, what did he say like to be back? Did he say like something like bathroom or something?
Yeah, it was like he was having like diarrhea or something.
About right.
And they just buy it. What's
Oh,
great
man.
though is then the whole like Pan abduction plot, which is like Piccolo totally like destroys after 1 minute.
Yeah, and then he just like uses Pan as just like, hey, like pretend like I'm hurting you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, go along with this. We need to
pretend you're
piss
scared.
we need to piss your dad off.
We need to get your dad back into shape.
Yeah,
He needs to
right.
stop studying.
Hey, can I just break off for a second on that? Like now that we brought that up,
Yeah.
like that makes me so mad that he had to learn that lesson again. Like,
Mhm.
like just in recent Dragon Ball, he's learned. This is the third time he's learned that lesson. If you take Dragon Ball together, it's the fourth time. It's like, come on, man, figure it out. Like,
It's like balance. It's like you have to. I get you don't like to fight, but you need to at least be somewhat prepared because your family's in danger.
yeah, well, he's had to go through this whole like arc of like, oh, I don't want to train, but I guess I have to, and then he's like, well, I don't want to, and it just keeps going back and forth, and
Yeah.
it's getting old.
Yeah,
Should have got off the pot, man.
it's getting old. Like a certain other joke that they like to throw into.
You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
The Google Home.
Oh, I
just
hate those
broke.
things.
It's scary. It like I keep forgetting to like finally connect it or mute it, and then it just keeps going off and scaring us.
That happens at our house all the time.
I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just Alex's thing going off again."
It scared me. I just need to unplug it. It's so annoying. Well, I think too, like at my old apartment, like people would just try and connect to it and like would just play music. I'd be like, please
Really?
stop. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm so happy I don't live there anymore. I hate that
Yeah,
apartment.
But I guess cutting back to the Dragon Ball from one of our many tangents.
Yes.
So during the whole Piccolo's whole plot, I loved how he just like knocks out the freaking other Red Ribbon guy who's with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I did it all by myself."
I'm honestly surprised he found a guy big enough for the suit to fit him.
Yeah, because Piccolo's a giant.
I'm pretty sure he's canonically like 9 feet tall.
Yeah,
No,
something
it-
like that.
He's like 8 feet tall, something like that.
Dang.
Like,
See, it's like
he's a
he
big
never
dude.
looks that tall next to Goku and Gohan because they're also really freakishly tall.
Mm.
But then you look at him next to Vegeta, and it's like, yeah, he's pretty tall.
Yeah, or Krillin.
Yeah, or Krillin, definitely.
We got Krillin in this movie, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, because him and 18 appear later on.
Right. Yeah, Krillin's the MVP. We all know it.
Honestly, like this movie was great for like all like the lower guys.
Mm.
Yeah, well, Tien's got left out again, but
Yeah,
that's fine.
I was gonna say
Whatever.
minus Tien.
And yeah, I'm
Not
yeah,
bitter
what am I
about
saying? What am I saying?
Yeah, right?
But I guess continuing on now. So, what do you guys think of Piccolo's initial power up?
What his just like his like base level unlock potential?
Yeah,
thing that he
like,
had going on.
where we get the Dragon Balls, where we get Shenron gets upgraded again.
Hmm.
I mean, it was definitely fitting with like the current Toriyama style, where it just like just like a quick little, what they altered his color, made him a little bit lighter, and that was about it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So I mean, that was cool in itself.
Hmm.
I thought it was interesting they brought back that whole plot device about like how like Gohan and Krillin's like potential got unlocked way back in Z.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because I was like, oh sorry.
I was just saying they gave us a bait and switch on that, and for the Tournament of Power because the old Kai actually offered to unlock their potential, but they didn't have time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember that. That was
That
cool
one-
though, because it's finally Piccolo's getting that power up that he's like needed forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, I'll ask just this is a spoiler podcast anyway, so it doesn't matter. But were you expecting him to get a super form?
I think it would already spoiled for me.
So me and
Before
Alex
I-
were completely blind to that.
Yeah,
like, going,
we had
Oh, were you?
no idea that was gonna happen. So
Where I got Super Jaw.
yeah, where you got orange.
Yeah,
See, I thought the initial power boost was
Went
his
to
power up, and I
Jersey.
was like,
Jersey Shore.
Hmm.
yeah, I actually thought initially that was his power up. I was like, oh, okay, that's very
Yeah,
Toriyama for
That's
this
what
point.
I
But
thought too.
then he turns freaking orange. I was like, oh, I'm like, that's new.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
then,
I was
like-
sitting on I'm thinking like this can't be like the big power up reveal in this episode in this movie, but it is pretty cool so far.
Yeah.
I will say him going giant. I wasn't expecting that one. That wasn't spoiled
Oh,
for
yeah.
me.
Bringing that
Like-
one back.
Having the giant kaiju fight against Cell Max, like that was awesome.
Mhm.
Actually, speaking of Cell Max, I don't know if you were spoiled for this, but me and Alex had no idea. Did you expect Cell to be back?
Oh yeah, I had been keeping up with it. I mean, when you're somebody who's as deep into Dragon Ball as I am, like that kind of stuff just pops up on your phone all the time. Like, I mean, that would be like if
One Piece spoilers pop up for
That-
me. So
that's what I was about to say that. That's like if friggin' you were trying to avoid One Piece spoilers for like the new movie or
it's
something
so
like,
hard.
or if they were gonna make a new Inuyasha movie, like you wouldn't be able to avoid it, Bill.
Oh,
No. I think they set that ship has sailed though. Unfortunately,
yeah. Well,
We'll see. Bleach is back.
true. Well, they did
Yeah.
Yashahime already, and it was
That's true.
mixed. I liked it, but
I still need to catch up on that one.
it's worth a watch.
But yeah, what do you guys think of Cell Max? Like just as like the design.
I like that it was kind of like a more monstrous version of like Cell's like
Hmm.
base form. Which
I
was
think
neat.
it's funny that they ended up going with this like the second form look.
Yeah, the really weird looking one, like the xenomorphish one.
I think the
Yeah.
reason for that is because Toriyama liked that one the most, and he wanted that one to be like his final form back then.
It's
So I
funny
think
'cause
this time,
he's in that
this-
one the least too, which is funny.
I think that's why is because everybody else hated it, and they just said like, you know what, just make the new one. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. I liked I like the whole like theory where he was all like, Dr. Hedo was all like, "It's not ready yet. Like we have the gammas. I can make more gammas. This is fine." And that you can clearly tell the Red Ribbon's like, "No, we want this to destroy the world."
Yeah.
no kidding.
Mm.
So then we start getting into the actual like climax of the film, where like we get that fight, that rematch of the Gammas versus Piccolo again. That fight was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and was Piccolo was fighting one of them, and Gohan was fighting the other.
Yeah,
Mm.
like we got we got Orange Piccolo, and we got to see Gohan actually like do stuff, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing like the ultimate form.
Mm.
Or the
Also, I
unlock
have to
potential.
Yeah, I also have to say Pan is a much better written character in this movie so far.
Well, over GT,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
GT
I
shit
hate
was
I
so
hated
annoying.
GT Pan so much.
Oh, no.
She's
She
so,
was-
I like her design, but oh my god, she was so annoying.
Mm.
I think it's just because the voice was so shrill. It just
That too.
cut right through.
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
I like
She
I like
whined
how
a lot.
I love how she's a trooper throughout the whole movie too. Like she just goes along with it. She's like, okay,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
it was a
Right.
big. It was a big game for her the whole time. She loved it.
Mm.
That was. I thought Gohan was legit gonna kill Piccolo for a minute.
Mm.
I mean, if he didn't know who it was, then it was entirely possible.
Yeah.
And then we get the we got the reveal of Goten and Trunks finally show up, and they're finally in their end of Z like age.
Yep. They finally
Yeah.
got old.
I have another tangent put away for that part.
Do you want to go
Yeah.
now or?
You already know, Bill. I already
Yeah.
went off on you.
Oh no.
Yeah, so look, I can accept they wanted to change Trunks' hair color. I've already accepted it.
Oh, yeah.
I've already accepted it. I've already moved past it, and it's fine. You know, we already have future Trunks. They want to have kid Trunks age up and have blue hair again. That's fine. You know, makes same color as his mom. Makes sense, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So if you're gonna have Goten and Trunks fuse,
Oh yeah.
how are you gonna have Gotenks have purple hair? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was that, and the fact that like, spoiler warning, they do they fuck up the fusion dance again because it's like, did we not just have this joke like last movie?
They did the joke twice in the last movie.
Yeah, and it's like how many times are they gonna do this stupid joke at this point now?
It's getting old.
I will
But
say though, I like that they made it relevant to the fight.
I mean, at least he made himself useful, and that's something you can at least say for him. But like,
Yeah.
although I will say, like, I don't know. It's like if you're gonna make a change, then commit to it. You know?
I also like that they got Goten's voice actor from GT back, which was nice.
That was cool.
It was just
It
it was nice to see him get work again.
It took me a minute to realize it was him though, because like, I mean, you only really hear him in GT, and it's been a while since I watched that at this point. So
Yeah, you hear
And
him
he
in GT in the end of Z, but his scenes are so brief.
yeah, he's just on the phone the whole time, or feeding his girlfriend ice cream or whatever. It's weird.
Yeah, he doesn't do a whole lot in GT.
Whoops.
Yeah, well,
And
hopefully
then
Uber
Eric,
will get a better treatment,
yeah, and then Eric Vale, of course, was back as Trunks.
which is always good. I'll always welcome Eric Vale back into it, whether he's
Yeah.
doing kid Trunks or older Trunks or whatever.
And then the other surprise, well, it wasn't really a surprise because we knew she was going to be in the movie, but 18 then shows up for the fight
With their hair
with Krillin. Yeah, she has her end of Z look now,
Yep.
which is fine. Even
I
though
think
she
it's kind of.
doesn't-
I think it's I was to say. I think it's kind of strange because isn't it like a thing that she doesn't grow hair? Like
Yeah, she
her
doesn't
hair doesn't
age.
grow.
She also doesn't age anymore, which is
Either that or she ages like slowly. But
or Toriyama forgot. We can always go with
True.
that plot line.
I mean, how old is anybody really?
Yeah. I was kind of surprised that yeah. I was kind of surprised though that we didn't see like 17 also now that he's kind of back, but
He's busy.
Kinda,
on his
sorta.
cruise still.
Oh yeah, he's sailing around the world.
cruising for 3 years.
Yeah.
Whatever works. When you get a boat that big, I mean, you saw it at the end of the credits of Super. Like that's a big ass boat.
I just thought it would have been a cool to have both of them fight off against Omega. What is his cell's name? It's like
Cellmax.
Cellmax, yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been cool, like get like kind of a rematch there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now that you say that, I didn't even consider that. Have both the androids fighting Cell.
Might
Although you
have just
gotta
been
wonder, like, do you think this Cell could absorb people?
don't know. Like they didn't really get into that.
I mean, his tail didn't look the same. Like he had like a club tail, but
I couldn't remember if he tried to absorb one of the gammas. I don't know. I don't think he did. I might
Well,
be
because
mis-
Gamma 1 was still fighting, because Gamma 2 takes that shot to protect Dr. Hedo and ends up dying because of it.
yeah, which is sad.
Yeah,
But that's
because you ended up really liking them as the movie went on.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna mention when we were talking about like the fights between them and Piccolo and why am I brain farting? Gohan. I don't know why I was brain farting. I had Goten in my head. They slowly realized they're like, okay, wait, maybe these guys aren't the enemies, and they aren't bad guys. Because isn't there a subplot that they told them like that Bulma is the villain, and
Yeah.
that's why they're fighting
Yeah.
them?
That great edited like video that makes Bulma look evil.
Yeah.
She's like the mastermind. Like,
I was joking, thinking like, is this
too
edited?
funny.
Like this could be Bulma.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
too funny.
That was funny.
I-
But oh, you're saying?
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say then we cut into like the big final fight where Cell Max finally gets unveiled with one of the most bizarre releases ever, because like Dr. Hedo actually goes down to stop what's the Red Ribbon Army guy's name? It's like
Magenta.
Magenta, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's going down, and then he reveals that he like replaced his body with an android, because of course he did.
it's about right. But then it ends up
Yeah.
not even mattering anyway because he
Yeah.
just gets
Yeah.
stung by that little robot bee.
But predictably he falls on the release button anyways,
Yeah.
Of course.
because of course we need that fight to happen.
Which
So,
the
does
whole fight with like Cell Max and like fighting everybody, like that was probably one of the best parts of the movie for me.
Oh, that fight is insane. Like the amount of shit that happens in
Oh
that.
yeah.
And keep in mind that fight literally only lasts about half an hour canonically.
You guys keep
because
cutting out.
Yeah. And I think my favorite part about that fight too is that Goku and Vegeta did not come back to help in the fight.
Oh,
They
I
stayed
cut
out
out
of
there
it.
for a minute.
Oh,
You froze. Don't worry, the audio kept going, so it's all right.
oh.
Oh, okay.
But
I was
I couldn't hear you guys.
Oh
what we were saying though, like the coolest part was like, like the best part about that fight was like Goku and Vegeta don't show up at all.
no! Yeah,
Hmm.
that's my favorite part. That
Yeah,
they
no
weren't there.
kidding.
Yeah, they don't appear like at all. Like no one shows up. This fight straight up
Yeah.
takes place during. So the fight it has to only be like half an hour long because Gotenks is transformed the whole time.
Yeah.
But so much shit happens during this fight. Like there's like
Oh, yeah.
points where Orange Piccolo is huge, like even though he claims it's just a bluff and it's not actually a power boost.
Yeah, it's just size. It's still
But it's-
cool though.
Oh, it was cool just to see like because two giants fighting. Meanwhile, I like the whole idea of they're using Gotenks as a freaking wrecking ball to like break the top of Cell's
Yeah.
Yeah.
structure and all sorts of stuff like that, which is cool. And then like you get the whole like Gamma 2 does his freaking suicide attack, which
Yeah.
Mhm.
was incredibly badass, but my god, it was really sad too at the same time, especially because he
Oh my
missed.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Bummer.
But he did take out Cell Max's arm, which was freaking like awesome to see. Like that whole like explosion effect.
yeah.
Mm.
This was where they definitely made the best use of the CG.
Oh yeah, that whole big fight scene with him, for sure.
And yeah, and then we get to like the final part with the big reveal of Gohan going. What is the super mode called at this point? Like,
Called it. Isn't it Beast form?
Yeah,
Isn't that
Gohan
they call
Beast.
it? Like, I think it's Beast
yeah,
form.
it was something that was really random, and I still don't really get the context of.
Yeah.
But
I think it's supposed to be playing off of like his rage boost from when he was a kid.
maybe
Hmm.
when that happened
But-
at first, did you also? I don't know if it was just me, but did you think he went Ultra Instinct?
No, Ultra Instinct. I knew it wasn't going to be anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
Just the
I mean,
color the color threw me off because I was
Well,
like, did he go?
the red eyes were the thing that was like, it's not Ultra Instinct because his eyes
Okay.
are red.
yeah. And they actually gave him like that like really angry look too.
He
And
lo-
they
he
didn't
looked a
play
lot
the
like-
music. They didn't
well,
play
that's
the Ultra Instinct music
That's true.
that we just
Yeah,
play around the house.
Yeah. I thought the form was pretty cool though, like the white hair, red eyes, like he looked like super angry, especially combined with his classic training outfit.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was definitely like a return to form, for sure.
It's the most
Let's just hope he
badass he's
sticks
been
with
in
it.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope he sticks with it.
That final scene though, where they just take out Cell Max is freaking amazing.
Yeah. Where he finally learns the special beam cannon.
Yeah, and just freaking one shots him with it. It was great.
Like that's been like something that people have been playing around. Like the video games have been playing around with him learning special beam cannon for like ever.
Yeah,
And that they finally had him actually learn it. Which I guess reveals in like a weird way that he has kind of been training on the side.
yeah.
Hmm.
He's been a little bit, but he still has his other. He's got to. Gohan is like trying to do too many things at once. That's the
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah. Still took him over like 20 years to learn that one move though. It's kind of
No.
weird.
Very true. But yeah, so then that fight ends, and then we get kind of the wrap up conclusion where Gamma 2 sadly dies, but it's revealed that Dr. Hedo survived, and then he gets a job with Bulma gives him a job working for her.
Yeah.
So that was
Can I
kinda
tell
funny.
you? Can I tell you how excited I am about that? I've been saying for years and years that Bulma should be making like androids and Mechsuits and all this other stuff. Like they can have like a bunch of like they can give like a mech suit or something to Chi Chi or whatever because she has like martial arts experience. Like there's all sorts of crazy stuff they could do with the technology the Capsule Corp can make, and they just never did anything with it.
Speaking of Chi-Chi, poor Chi-Chi, all the characters that get fucking like cameos in this movie, Chi-Chi gets a mention. That's about it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
there's actually a story about when Battle of Gods was coming out, and they were having like the big premiere and stuff, and Cynthia Kranz, who plays Chi Chi, was like all excited, like going to like the premiere and everything, and like they ended up cutting out all of her scenes in the movie,
Yeah.
Oh,
and she was like
no.
so upset about it. Like I heard
Yeah,
that
she, in the
on
theatrical, in the theatrical version, she has like 2 scenes at most.
Yeah,
Aw.
like I saw an
No.
interview with her at one point talking about it, and I'm like, that sucks.
Aw.
It's okay. She's in the extended release.
Yeah, the one that most people watch.
Yeah, since I think they only had like what? There's a very small amount of theaters that had Battle of Gods when that came out.
Yeah, it was a very short time thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the only one of the new Dragon Ball movies I haven't seen in theaters for that reason.
Yep. But then I guess cutting back, then we get kind of a nice little like, kind of like a reprise of like the beginning of the movie where it's Piccolo back at his house training again
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
with another cat toy thing.
yeah. Oh, because we forgot to mention the scene where like Pan literally has to learn how to fly, or else she'll like
Oh yeah,
die. Basically.
Even though she already knew how to fly as a baby.
Yeah. She
oh
has
she,
to relearn.
she forgot. She forgot about that.
Baby. She forgot.
Fair enough.
That's my
All that
theory on
time,
that.
all that time trying to figure out how to walk, she forgot how to fly.
Yep.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a great like heartwarming moment though at the end, and then we get the reprise of Piccolo going back to his little shack,
Yep.
Yep,
With his
and then
cat.
we got
with his throne.
and then the post credit scene that was so worth it.
Oh yeah, where Broly like moved to tears from their fight.
Oh, my favorite part about that is like so many people left the theater after the credits started playing. I'm like, there's got to be a
yeah.
post credit scene. They
No,
can't
I
just,
waited.
I'm like they can't forget about the main characters of the series.
Yeah.
I made Cindy wait. She was going to like move out of the theater. I'm like, nope, we're waiting. Like I gotta see if there's something coming after this.
Yeah.
The best part about that scene though to me is the fact that Vegeta won.
Yes, he
I was
finally
just like,
beat him.
oh, I was like, finally, the poor guy, like
Yeah.
so many times.
You can finally say he did it.
And that basically wrapped it up. So before we give our final thoughts, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Woo.
And we're back.
Wow.
And
That
we're
was
back.
a long break.
I know. I'm like, I was doing all sorts of stuff around here.
So I think we said it on a previous podcast, but I really enjoyed this film.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It was definitely like, I mean, for me, like, if the story was there, that was the important thing for me. Everyone was getting too worried about like the CG and everything. Like, yeah, they totally could have messed it up,
Mm.
and the CG could have been bad, but I think Toei knows well enough to where to put the money when it comes to that kind of thing with a movie at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toei does a good job. Honestly, there was only one scene in this film where I really was like, that doesn't look good. And it was like really early in the film. It was like one of the scenes with Goku and Vegeta up on Beerus's planet where it was like a side profile of both of them. And I'm like, that doesn't look good.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
Other
that
than
was
that,
very few and far between.
yeah, that was like the one scene. I was like, other than that, like everything looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, I don't know if you guys remember the scene in the Broly movie shortly before they went to fuse when they were doing the Kamehameha Gallic gun together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then that like quick CG scene, like, to me, like that scene looked like garbage. But
I'm
this whole
talking-
movie was like way beyond that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it looked
Yeah.
awesome.
I will admit there was a few scenes where I thought the frame rate kind of looked a bit off. Like it was almost on a Dragon Ball Fighters level where it was kind of slow.
Yeah.
But other than
Uh,
that, like I thought everything moved really well. Like some of the scenes I thought really benefited, like the scene of Dr. Hedo and Magenta in the car where he's
Oh,
like,
with the dude with the bubble over it so his hair can fit in the car.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we forgot about that guy. I love that guy.
Was it what the hell was his name?
I think
The
it-
Carmen or something
Yeah, I
like
think
that?
it was
Carmen.
Carmen. He had his own intro anytime he showed up.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes.
He made his own little like trailers.
Yeah, he was fun. The Red Ribbon Army in general was pretty fun, even though they're the most incompetent villains, and their whole motivation of hating Goku is so stupid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You gotta
Yeah.
wonder if they're gonna do anything with like, is the Red Ribbon Army still gonna be a thing, or like
I don't
is
know.
like will Capsule Corp just kind of absorb them?
Close to get rid of them forever. What I find interesting is, once again, we have another case of like this movie adds so much plot stuff that it just completely is it's making it so hard to connect the end of Z to current continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at this point, they're just gonna have to redo it and just kind of be like, yeah, this we have new ideas now.
Yeah.
Or they could just have like something else going on in the background, or like maybe one day we'll just be a super episode where we're just hanging out with Beerus and Whis on their planet, and then all of a sudden Goku shows up. He's like, "Hey, I just picked up this kid from this tournament, and I'm gonna train him here."
Yeah,
Something like that.
anything to get rid of GT basically.
Yeah, I think we're ready for Oob. I'm ready.
Yeah, 'cause you said he's finally getting developed in the manga too, right?
Well, I mean, they haven't really. We've seen a couple of scenes of him, but they've kind of like retconned some things so that like he basically has a lot more potential than we would have thought.
Yeah.
So he's
'Cause I know-
he's gonna be good.
In the original ending of Z, he kind of just shows up and Goku's like, "Oh right, you."
Yeah,
But like now it's implied that Goku knows about him.
yeah. Dende told him about him or something. I actually think Dende asked him to train Oob,
Yeah.
which was strange.
I
And
mean,
Goku's like, I don't know how I feel about training somebody else.
I prefer that honestly, just because it's better than in the original where Goku once again just like ditches his family and runs off.
True.
He's very good at that, as we've
Oh,
noticed.
Which I mean
Denji
was never
can-
really necessary in the first place either, because he could teleport.
Well, I know, especially now where it's like now there's like no excuse because they have like freaking intergalactic god travel now.
Yeah. No kidding.
I just kind of laugh with Super. Super has changed the continuity so much that it's like
Oh yeah.
it's
It's
so
outrageous.
jarring. It's so jarring going back to Z, and you're like, wow,
Mm.
so many things have changed.
Yeah, no kidding. It's crazy.
That was funny though. Like I love that ending. Like Stinger. Like it was a perfect conclusion. I love that they stuck to their guns and actually like made the movie a Gohan Piccolo movie
Mm.
Yeah, me too.
because it honestly, I'd say this is probably in my top 5 favorite Dragon Ball films.
I'd definitely say it's up there. I'd have to really think about it.
Yeah, 'cause,
It's hard to top Battle of Gods.
Battle of Gods is up there. Fusion Reborn is up there. Super Android 13.
Hmm.
Like, there's a lot of like really good ones, but like this one's up there. I think it's.
Do you
better
count?
than-
Do you count the specials as movies?
I guess maybe.
I mean, it really varies from person to person, but I mean, I still think History of Trunks is one of the best.
just as a
One
story,
of the best things.
even though it's a character that now technically doesn't exist anymore.
Whoops.
In some way, shape, or form, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think. Like, I love the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was really good, production wise.
Yeah, it sounded very like Marvel movie.
It did. Like, I got a lot of Alex. So me and Alex had recently watched one of the My Hero Academia movies. I got a lot of My Hero Academia vibes
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because that anime entirely is based around like American comics,
Yeah.
hmm
Based off.
and
superhero.
this whole movie had a very American comics feel to it.
Mm.
I still haven't watched My Hero yet. I keep getting told I gotta watch it, but
Honestly, I think my opinion is like there's some really great episodes, but then there's some really like not great episodes. Like I'd say it's a very mixed bag. Like there's some good. I think some people are a little too crazy about it. I think One
Yeah,
Piece
it definitely
is One
it
Piece
definitely
and Dragon
blew
Ball are
up.
definitely better.
Yeah.
Well,
Although
Dragon Ball has like so much like history behind it too.
I'm probably gonna end up watching Hunter x Hunter before I watch.
Oh yeah, I definitely watched that before. So much better. Watch Hunter x Hunter way before My Hero Academia. Just
Oh,
throw.
and I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong, Alex, but I definitely think Bill should watch Yu Yu Hakusho before he watches it, though.
Well, yeah, I think yeah. I think Bill should watch that, even though he's watched a little bit of Hunter x Hunter because we did an
Yeah.
anime swap.
Watch the
Have
first
you-
5.
Have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
I haven't, but it's on my list. It's on.
Which is weird because
I
you
love-
like Hunter x Hunter so much.
I do. I love Hunter x Hunter. I'm so excited the manga's coming back.
Yeah. Is he doing all right? Like, is he still sick, or what's going on
I
with
don't
that?
know. I just know it's coming back. Like, there's been a ton of announcements that it will be returning.
I heard he had like a turn for the better. Like he's still not great, but I heard he
Yeah.
took a turn for the better. So
It still
And
would be nice if he was able to finish his own series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think his wife is also helping him because she's the manga
Yeah.
artist for Sailor Moon. So
That's actually towards the end of Yu Yu Hakusho, they have a few of the characters who are like they were sneaking into this place in disguise. But they were dressed as Sailor Moon characters.
nice.
that's so funny.
Which
I
is
think
actually
it's
even
cute.
funnier because they didn't even know each other at the time either. So that just makes it even funnier.
Wow,
Yeah.
meant to be.
I gotta sit down and watch it. Actually, I might do that while Alex is working nights.
Yeah,
I actually just
all right.
started last night. I got my stepson watching it, and he's like super into it now.
Yeah.
It's good. It's old, but it's really good.
Because I know you. I showed you the first few episodes, right? Like we watched.
We
like, the
watched
first,
like the first 7 episodes.
yeah, just kind of like the introduction. It starts off
Yeah.
kind of slow, but like as soon as like basically once the main character starts getting his powers, the story picks up really fast.
Yeah, it wasn't like Full Metal where like that picks up from like the first episode,
Yeah.
and then episode 4 happens, and you're like, what the fuck?
Oh God. Episode 4.
Episode 4.
I was drunk the first time I watched that episode.
Oh
I was living with my buddy at the time, and one of our friends was over, and he had been trying to get me to watch Full Metal Alchemist, and like I just happened to be drinking that day. He's like, "Hey, you want to start that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, why not?"
no! Oh no!
Bad mistake.
I remember
Don't-
we watched the first 3 episodes, and you were like, okay, episode 4 is where everything really hits the fan, and I was like, okay. So then I watched it the next day at home, and I was like, this isn't so bad. I don't get what the big deal about this is. And then it happens, and I'm like, oh my.
It's so bad.
I'm sure this isn't going to be a recurring plot for the rest of the show.
Even I
Believe it or
warned you
not-
about that.
Believe it or not, in the first Full Metal show, they make that guy like a way bigger deal. Like the
Yeah, because
Shao Tucker.
the first show changes a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if either of you have ever seen that one before, but
I've seen bits and pieces. I know it's a freaking. I know it has its fans, but it's like its own show. To be honest,
yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, if you hadn't seen Brotherhood and you watched that one first, you could think that it's a really good story, but it's comparing them is where that show kind of falls apart.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who he watched the original first, and because of that, he went into Brotherhood right after, and he said he actually dropped Brotherhood because it was hard to follow because the first half is pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
I told
Yeah,
him it's like it's been years for him, so I told him he's got to sit down and just watch Brotherhood now because it's a much better show.
Yeah. See, the thing is, you just can't watch the shows back to back. You got to give them time to breathe.
Yeah, like especially that one's good though because it's only a 64 episoder, so it's like not too long, but it's not super short either.
What do you mean not too long?
Yeah.
1,000 episodes is not that bad.
Jesus Christ. You know, Pokemon only has like a few more episodes than One Piece does.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think Pokemon's like 1,100 episodes, something like that.
I know
Does
One
Pokemon
Piece isn't
count
even
though
in
because
the
it's
top
technically
10.
that's true.
I
I
mean,
would
it
put
is
Pokemon-
technically multiple series, but
Yeah.
Mm.
I know the longest running isn't like Detective Conan one of the longer running ones.
It's like this show that's like it's only I don't even think it has like a sub. And it's like this morning show that was in Japan and it just runs every morning and it's like a family show. It's been running from years. I forget what it's called.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I know what it is. I just gotta find it. Oh yeah. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's called Saze-san. It's had 7,881 episodes and it's been airing for 53 years.
Jesus Christ.
It's
they
just
literally
this
had
show
it-
that it's like I'd say they compare it to like it's just like a show, like a family show that's in the morning and it just centers around this family. But yeah, 7,000. One Piece isn't even in the top 10, I think. No, it actually I think it's number 7.
For the longest?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Cuz it's Saze-san and then Chibi Maruko-chan, which is 1,329 episodes. Crayon Shin-chan, Case Closed Detective Conan,
I know that one.
Pokemon, and then One Piece.
I guess
And
I
then
do count all-
Naruto.
Naruto, does it count all of Naruto's like stuff?
I believe so. I think it's like the
Well, I mean-
series itself. Oh yeah, it's also counting Boruto, so
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you count all 3 shows, it's close to 1,000, if not at 1,000.
It's like
is
well, Shippuden's 5.
720.
Okay, that makes
That's
sense.
what this article says. This article could be old.
I think it's out of date.
Yeah, I think
Because
it is
there's-
too, because I think there's more episodes of One Piece than.
Yeah, actually, because you know what? I think 720 is just the first 2 shows. That's not including Boruto.
Yeah, I think so. Cool, because 500 alone is Shippuden. So
Yeah.
Eh.
yeah, and then Dragon Ball is actually a pretty small drop in the bucket when you really think about it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's one of those things where everyone seems like daunted by how big Dragon Ball is, but then like there's so many other shows that are longer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Z is like 240, 294, I think, and that's not
It's
that
right
long.
around there, yeah.
The longest one to watch is original Dragon Ball, but that's just because that show's a lot slower.
Yeah, but I feel like the adventurous tone of it kind of makes up for it.
Oh, it's the best plot like overall. It's just it's a very slow show to watch.
That's my comfort show.
Yeah, it's super relaxing. Z is when you just want to watch some junk food.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
Just see a bunch of guys beating each other up.
Yeah, Super is like the best of both worlds.
Yep.
That's the way I saw it. As I saw, like, you know, Dragon Ball was like the adventure story, the adventure comedy. Then you had Z, which is like the action drama. And then GT was like the failed attempt to mix them.
GT was the Goku show.
Yep.
The Goku and Pan show. Which wouldn't have been so bad if they actually had Pan doing something, but
Mm.
They kind of forgot about Pan after like the first like arc, and then it just became Goku.
did
Yep.
you watch GT?
I
I-
did.
Alex has, and I have.
You did?
If not, but I've seen clips and images and.
You remember the creepy monkey dude who like turned Pan into a doll and was like dressing her and shit? It was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Man!
Well, that's all right. My first experience with GT was I had never seen anything of it, so I didn't know about the Goku as a kid thing at this point yet. I
You didn't
literally
know
just-
that going in?
No, well, I hadn't watched anything about it at the time. I mean, this was back in like the 2000s when it first aired,
Oh, okay.
so it was like I just happened to pop into it on just channel surfing, and the first thing I see is it's Kid Goku and then old lady Chi Chi dressed as a nurse shoving a giant needle in his ass.
Oh,
I'm like, what? I'm like,
I
what is
remember
happening?
that episode.
Like, what is this? Like, why is Chi Chi old? Why is Goku a kid?
Oh,
Goku's Spear
no.
of Needles.
They're into some weird shit, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then in context, you're like, oh, like that's just a really weird dream sequence.
This is very strange.
Yeah, that whole show's like a dumpster fire.
I mean, there's things to like about it. Honestly, I like the
There
music
is.
in GT a lot.
That's fair. And I
Like
love
the
Super Saiyan 4 is still like the best thing to come out of GT.
Yeah, it's still kind of sad that like we can't really do anything with that now. I mean, Heroes does their own thing with it, which is fine, but
Yeah, and
they should just make like Broly's personal, like how everybody's getting their own forms now. So they should just give
him Super
Broly
Saiyan
Super Saiyan
4.
4.
Hmm.
Super Saiyan 4 Broly, one of those long running like fan things. They just make it real. Why not?
Yeah, Dragon Ball AF,
Yeah, right?
the best.
God.
Super Saiyan 5, I think that was what they came up with.
My older brother's still falling for that stuff. He was like, "Oh man, I found out this new Super Saiyan Infinite thing," and he showed me the picture. I'm like, "That's fake. That's a fan thing." Like, one look at it, I saw how much hair it was, and I'm like, "That's AF shit."
Yeah.
Yeah, good old AF. That was a good myth.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, so the manga is continuing after this, right?
Yes, it's on a hiatus right now, though.
Okay,
Uh,
but they are planning on continuing on.
To my know, I mean, the way they left it off, they better.
Yeah,
Just saying.
because
Seriously.
we're getting. I can't wait till they animate that because I really want to see that animated. But also,
Wait. Did I already ask you guys if you've been reading along?
I've been watching,
I haven't.
reading bits and pieces. It's all
Actually-
free on the Viz app, so you can read it at any time.
I'll
Yeah,
add it to my
alright.
list.
Well, I shouldn't spoil it for you guys then. But it's the way they left it off is like, yeah, there's a reason why they're training with Broly.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm looking forward to it because honestly, I think that the Dragon Ball storyline is actually getting really interesting right now,
mm.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
especially
um,
compared to how it was like kind of dead for like so long, and they brought it back, and now it's like the biggest thing ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been adding a bunch of new characters and stuff too. Like, they added this new character Miras in the Moro arc, and then they got Granola in the new arc, and
Hmm.
all this new stuff that they're throwing in. I swear, I feel like they're building like an Avengers style like Dragon Ball team, like a whole new team,
What,
Yeah.
what
and
I'm
I'm
wondering,
honestly
though,
into it.
a theory I was thinking was so we brought Frieza back, we've brought Cell back. Are they gonna bring Boo back and somehow incorporate Oob into it? That's what I'm wondering now.
I was actually just talking about this with my brother earlier. My hope is that they bring Oob back, and how everybody's getting their own transformations. I want him to be able to just transform into like a half Boo, half human form, like his own like version of it.
Hmm.
Or even if he just like gets like Boo attributes, like he gets like the putty type of body, where like he still looks like a human, but he can stretch and he can break apart and like do all that other stuff. I think that'd be cool.
I still think the greatest missed opportunity was like a fat Boo training for the Tournament of Power. We got to see him skinny for like one scene, and then they give it away.
Yeah, that was one of the worst bait and switches. But we ended up getting that awesome Frieza team up, so
Yeah.
True.
I guess it ended up working out.
And now
That
Frieza
has been
just
leading
kind
into
of,
other stuff.
yeah, and now Frieza just kind of exists.
He's just Goku's Joker now.
Pretty much. It's like he knows he's too weak to beat Goku, but so he's just gonna terrorize other people and stay away from Earth.
Yeah, for the most part,
Yeah. Well, he's still gonna be a troll.
Oh yeah.
it's what he does best.
It's his way. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. So I know me and Alex were saying like because we were talking about we're actually going to see One Piece Red soon, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to compare, see how this movie holds up, especially with another mega anime film.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
'Cause
Oh
One
my
Piece-
God.
that's the other reason why at first I was like about getting into One Piece is because every time Dragon Ball releases a film, One Piece puts out a film like right afterwards and just destroys it in the box office. So
Yeah.
I get that like that fan base butthurt like feeling
I-
about it.
I do feel a little bad because Dragon Ball, as we've all concluded, it was a great movie, but I think One Piece Red might have already beat it in the box office, unfortunately. But it's so good. Like I don't want to spoil anything, but I am hyped for it because I know what's coming, and I'm like, I'm so excited.
Well, like, isn't it supposed to be about like Shank's daughter or something?
Yeah. So, and a lot of it, I think the hype about it too is that it's like Shanks centric in general. because like
Mm.
Shanks is one of the most beloved characters, but I think he's had less than an hour of screen time throughout the whole
Yeah, he
series.
hasn't been around much.
No, he's really not. So it's kind of cool that we're finally getting like scenes of him. But there's also like a I don't want to spoil it, but if anyone knows if they've seen this or saw spoilers, they know what I'm talking about. That I'm looking forward to. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
looked
don't
into it
wanna
at all, so I'm gonna be
I
blind
don't want
going
to
in.
spoil it, and I'm excited that it's going to be very music centric as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because like the whole, I guess like her whole like devil fruit power is music, like and song. So like
Oh,
they
yeah.
actually got like a lot of song singers, like famous singers in music. So
Are we gonna have like a Brooke musical?
no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but
I'd be all for
they-
that just so we can get Ian Sinclair to sing.
Yeah, Soul King.
there's
I'm gonna do
in
it.
the soundtrack there's at least 8 songs in the soundtrack, and 7
gonna-
of them all new.
Is it gonna be like what was it, Film Z, when they had all those American
Oh.
songs at the end? That threw me off so bad when I saw that.
Oh my god!
Me and
that was
Alex
the
are
best
still
part.
laughing about that. The Avril Lavigne cover of Nickelback.
That's right, it was Nickelback. Oh my god.
This is how you remind me, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was-
so.
I know.
was
that was
so
the
you-
best. I legitimately thought Film Z was like really good, so
That's the only movie that I've seen so far, but I enjoyed it. It was cool.
it's a good film, and
Yeah.
it's like one of the only One Piece things I've really seen. So
That's
Yeah,
Bill's like
it's something
favorite
to-
of the ones we've watched.
well, the only other ones I've
there's
seen
one-
are like we saw Strong World, and then or is it
saw
Stampede?
Strong World, Stampede, and Gold.
Gold. I thought Gold was.
I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is it just me, or is it like impossible to find all the old One Piece movies? Because I wanted to watch the old ones, but
Yeah.
I can't find them anywhere.
It is very hard to find a lot of the old ones. Funimation actually does have quite a few of the movies that didn't have theatrical releases on it, but a lot of the old movies I like have never seen because I can't find them either.
I look online
But
every
I'd
now and
love
then;
to
they're
see
like
them.
stupidly expensive for some reason.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Like I feel
I
like
don't
the
know
only
why.
way to see them is unfortunately in not legal ways.
As you do in One Piece, you got to sail the 7 seas.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go to the Bay of Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yep.
How many of these have I seen?
it's the only way to watch Full Metal Alchemist now. So,
Is it really?
well, original show, anyways.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I was gonna say I got the Brotherhood DVDs for like super cheap recently.
Now, finding the original Full Metal is like wicked expensive now. I think I have a bootleg of it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I thought it was real.
no.
Then I looked at it, and it looks. Oh, what's going on, Alex?
I need to double check what Dragon Ball Superhero. I need to go back to the wiki. I just want to check how much in the box office worldwide, Dragon Ball Superhero made 87.3 million. One Piece
Worldwide?
worldwide. In the box office for One Piece Red, they've made 126.6 million, and they haven't even released to the U.S. yet.
That's just sad.
You gotta remember the One Piece fan base in Japan is massive, though.
That's true.
Also, there's so much hype for this movie too.
Like
there's
One Piece
so
still
much.
hasn't. One Piece still hasn't really broken 100% out of Japan.
I mean, One Piece has been around for a while over here too.
True. It kind of had a slow start though because of that horrendous 4Kids dub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what threw me off at first. Like, because I remember catching it like back when like Naruto was first starting to run. Like, way back then, I caught One Piece like an episode, and I heard the voices and the way that they were doing it all. I just like, this is stupid, and I switched it, and I never gave it another chance
yeah. I
until like the
definitely
past couple
recommend-
years.
I'd recommend giving it a chance. The dub actors and the Japanese voice, it's much better.
Well, I've dabbled a little bit in the anime. Like, if I just have some time to kill, I'll just throw it on. But
Yeah, the funny dub is superior in every way.
so I just got to point out that this started as a superhero review, or
Yeah,
like
we
talking
just
about
went-
that,
We've
and
gotta
then
do
of course, One Piece takes it over. That's just how it goes.
I'm
Well, it's-
sorry.
it's like any anime episode we do. It just becomes an anime tangent. I'll probably allude to that in the title.
Hey, I didn't
Yeah,
talk
that's
about
fair.
JoJo's, so
I have also read some of that recently as well.
yeah.
I've only gone through part 3, but I've been
Okay.
reading it.
Part 4 is my favorite. Part
Is it?
5 is really good. Yeah, I love part 4 the most. It's very mixed. Like, not everyone loves part 4, but I liked it the best.
Is
Uh,
it super
the one
battle heavy?
Hmm?
Is it like super battle heavy like part 3 was?
No, I'd say. Well, I mean, there's fights, but I'd say it's a. So that one I'd call a murder mystery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I love the villain, even though he's a creep. Yeah,
Oh, it's
it's
one
good.
of those.
I love part 4. It's my favorite.
That's the one that's basically just Persona, right?
Well, so once you get into part 3 is where the stands come in.
Yeah,
And
what
then
part-
from there,
Part 3 for me was just like I started with the beginning with like all the vampires stuff like that.
yeah,
And like what I liked a lot about part 1 and part 2 is like they had time between like all the fights and battles and stuff to like let the characters breathe, and they had like little training arcs and like their interactions and stuff. But like part 3 just felt like bam 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 bam, like constant fights the
Yeah.
whole time. It just felt like there wasn't any room to breathe.
part 4, there's definitely. I'd say part 4 is very comedy heavy too. A lot of the characters are innately goofy. And there is like, so it's kind of like there is like a fight, I'd say, like every episode, but some of them are more like funny fights. And you really don't see the main villain until like a couple. It takes like I think like 10 or so episodes before the main villain actually enters part 4. But his arc is it's very interesting. He has a really interesting stand. And I love part 4 because all the stands start becoming musical references, which is
Right,
just
yeah.
really fun. Yeah.
Does the Oingo Boingo brothers come back?
I don't think so. I don't think
I know
they
one
come
of them
back.
died, but
Yeah, I don't think they come back at this point. They might come back future. But the judges feature, it gets weird. After part 6 is where they kind of do another weird change. So, fighting change. So,
fair enough.
but I recommend watch part 4. It's my favorite.
I'll get around to it.
And then part 5's the mafia.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, and it's all in Italy. So, part 5 is cool too.
Have either of you guys watched Bacano?
No, I haven't.
No. That one's a really good one.
That sounds familiar. I think you actually recommended it to me before.
It's a short series. It's only like 16 episodes, but
Okay.
it's mostly set in like Brooklyn, like that type of area,
Mm.
during like the 1930s. It's a lot of like bootleg stuff. It's about like immortals and the mafia.
Oh, okay.
It's
keep that
it's a
one
really
on
good
the-
series.
I just have too many shows and games. And,
Gotta add it to the list.
Dude, I know what you mean. I'm right with you there.
I mean, they got manga over here, anime over there, games over here.
I know what you mean. It's there you go.
There you
There's
go.
the obligatory hiccup.
Yep, it had to happen sooner or later.
Well, I know your pain as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I also suffer from chronic hiccups.
Yeah, they just appear. It's like only one, and then I'm fine. It's just
Yeah.
that's it
Yeah.
until the next one.
Gotcha.
You know what's funny? Going back to Dragon Ball Superhero, it amazed me how
Going back to
Wait.
the topic of this episode.
Yeah, right?
it amazed me just how quick that movie like went by, but also at the same time how long it felt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like, because there
just-
was like once the action scenes actually like kicked off, it was over in a second. But like the actual
Yeah.
like build up to the fight was like, wow, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had a chance to watch it again before we had to talk about it, because like I said before, it's been a bit since we watched it, so like a lot of it's a little fuzzy. I mean, as we talk about it more, like I'm remembering more, but like, and I actually before we came on here and started doing this, I was trying to find like clips on YouTube, but there's like nothing.
Mm,
Yeah, it's. I guess Toy isn't messing around at this point.
no.
I guess not. Because I mean, when Broly came out, like I could find like all the fight scenes and like certain little clips from the show on YouTube, but like there's none of that on for
Yeah.
Superhero.
Oh,
You're gonna have to wait till the Blu-ray and streaming releases, probably.
Bummer.
yeah.
There's still no word on when that's gonna happen either.
Yeah. Well, Funny's going through the whole merger with Crunchyroll right now, so they're kind of still
yeah.
everything's
Funny
like slowing
Crunch.
down. Crunchy Fun. I like Crunchy Fun first.
Crunchy fun. Yeah.
Funny crunch, crunchy fun.
That whole mess of stuff going on.
Crunchy
That's too
fun
funny.
roll.
See, that's too much of a mouthful.
But it kind of sounds like a food.
You just call it CF.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, no, don't be lame. We want a funny, jacked up version of the names.
Alex's way
Like
she's
like
gonna
Dragon Ball Superhero.
Yes.
when I saw they were gonna call it Superhero, I just laughed. I'm like, that is the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, I mean, it fits. It fits to me though. After friggin' Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan, like
Yeah.
if we're gonna start doing that, you might as well just go all the way with it.
Super Saiyan, God Form, Ultra, They're just like he just pulls names out of hats at this point.
Oh yeah.
And then now we got Gohan Beast Form, so
And we got Gohan Beast. We got Orange Piccolo.
Orange Piccolo. Fat Gotenks is just going to become its own character at this point.
I'm okay with that. If you're gonna do it, then you might as well get And
I
we
mean,
need
they're
more
gonna-
Gotenks in general.
They're going to keep making that joke. We still didn't get to see like adult Gotenks though, which bummed everybody out.
Yeah, that's the other half of what annoyed me about Gotenks for sure.
Well, then they do the fusion again right at the end, but we don't actually see it.
Oh yeah, that's right. This sons of bitches.
They just
They
trolling
did
us
it
at
on
this point.
purpose.
It's like, nope, you want adult Gotenks, you gotta go play heroes,
Yeah.
jerks.
I hope they do continue though to like reference like Dr. Hedo in the future.
I hope so. I mean, going back to what I was saying before about how Bulma should have been making androids from the start. Like, if he's on the team, he's going to be coming up with all sorts of gadgets and androids and all this other stuff, and be helping out. Like, even if we just stick with Gamma, even if we just went and stick with him, like, don't mind me. I just got to plug in my laptop.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm pretty interested in just like where it's going to go from here because they're as you were saying, they're setting up for something. So
Yeah, like I said, dude, I want my Dragon Ball Avengers movie.
yeah,
It's gonna happen. They're building a team. We got all these new forms for the old characters. Then we got all these new ones. We got Mirrors. We got Granola. We got Broly. The Gamma. Like, we got all these new people coming out. Oob's gonna be coming at some point. Who knows when, but sometime.
there's going to be another Universal tournament big tournament at some point. I
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're building this team for the next tournament. I'm waiting for it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Be way better than the last one.
Yeah, they'll be more prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as Krillin should be on the team, he really shouldn't be.
He's got to get cut. Sorry, Krillin.
Or
Yeah.
Roshi, or Roshi's getting pretty old now.
No, he did better than Krillin.
They already cut him out of this movie. Just cut him out. No.
Roshi performed the best out of all the humans in the tournament.
True, he kind of did. He got a compliment from Beerus. That was probably the most heartwarming moment of that.
For real.
Yeah. But I guess other than that, like, any closing thoughts on the film?
Buy the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Watch it. It was great.
I will be. for
I
sure.
can't wait. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to giving it another go once it
I'm
comes
waiting
out.
for Gohan Beast to come out in Xenoverse
Yeah,
or as a Fighters.
Fighters DLC or maybe a bonus in Kakarot.
Yeah, Kakarot's getting more DLC. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'd honestly,
might-
I kind of hope they do a sequel to Kakarot, but they just do like Super instead.
That would be cool. I mean, honestly, when they announced that they were doing Kakarot, like I kind of wanted them to do it from like Kid Goku and work their way up. But
Yeah,
Z's the one that's marketable, so
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean it's kind of cool because now we're also getting One Piece Odyssey pretty soon, which is like,
Yeah.
That's right. They are doing that, aren't they?
I'm
Please tell me that's coming off the
excited.
Switch.
yeah.
Nope.
At least Xbox One.
I think
it's gonna be
Xbox
on
One-
Steam.
All right, I can.
Also, it is PS4 as well. It might be on Xbox One too. I think they might do it.
I feel like that's probably possible. Let me see. I
Well, if
have
it's gonna be on-
PS5, PS4.
I know most anime games tend to be on Sony.
Yeah,
Mm.
it might get a later port. I know it was PS5, PS4, and PC right away.
Hmm.
Game editions. Oh, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS.
Hmm.
Damn. Oh well.
No, they'll
May-
probably port it over eventually, or
Oh, limited edition Xbox. I don't know. There's multiple editions. Oh, Xbox One, PC.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
All right.
digital standard edition
Yeah,
there'll be a
I'll
way.
have to get it. I'll have to
and
get it.
digital deluxe edition.
yeah, because I have to get Alex the PS4 version so she can play it.
Yeah, the deluxe edition. Deluxe.
Yeah, I get the season pass.
Woo!
Yeah, that was helpful for Kakarot.
Yeah. Well, I ended up getting screwed because my PlayStation broke, so then I ended up getting all the DLCs on my Switch, paying for them again.
Yeah, I think I did the same. I bought both. So
But I did finally get through that DLC. But well, anyways, back to superhero.
it's our way.
Yeah.
The way.
Well, I'm known for my tangents, so yeah, it's just one of those things you have to.
So are we.
One of those things you have to expect if you're gonna have me on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess other than that, we've pretty much summed everything up. I mean, we could probably go more in depth, but we'll be here all day.
Oh yeah, all day, all night. Woo.
I could go on about Dragon Ball forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
We'll
been
have to
watching it
have
for
you on
20 years, so
When we do a Dragon Ball Games episode, we'll definitely have to have you on.
Yes.
oh for sure. I was actually just talking to my brother about all that. Like, there's a handful of games that I missed since like the Budokai days, but not many. I've played a lot of them.
That's
I still own quite a few of them too.
yeah.
But
All right. Well, I guess to wrap this up, did you? So your podcast isn't out yet, but do you want to plug it just in case, or?
yeah, we might as well. It's a Tosca Talk podcast. It's going to be in a very similar vein to you guys' podcast, where it's kind of just like a casual, pick a nerdy
Discussion.
topic and talk about it. It's going to be anything from books to movies to animes, video games, you name it. Pretty much, if it's nerdy or geeky, we'll probably cover it at some point.
All right.
Nice.
And I'll supply links whenever it comes out, just so people can find it.
Yeah.
Likewise.
All right. Perfect. Well.
Woo.
Anyways, guys, once again, thanks for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. The Gaming and Collecting Podcast can be found on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. We're made on Anchor Podcasts, and the episodes come out on YouTube eventually whenever I get around to it. And other than that, guys, we'll see you all next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.